Okay, fine. So as today's session is device drivers, so as I told, for any hardware to communicate with the operating system, we need a device driver for it. Okay, and like as I told earlier, as like device driver and device operating system might not know about any of the devices unless until it has a it has a driver for it. So it could be anything. It could be a sound card, or it could be a storage device. It could be a NIC card. Fine. So anything that we connect to our computer that actually that will look for a driver, like a USB pen, USB stick we are connecting, or USB headset we are connecting to look for a driver. So sometimes you get on the right side, you're installing the device driver, right? Sometimes when you connect on Windows operating system, Windows 7, right bottom you see that installing the device driver, right? Or after that it says that your device is ready to use, right? Have you seen that thing earlier? Yeah. So you may see all those things, like it will once you connect, it will detect and say that installing device driver, and it after once it's installed, it will tell you that your device is ready to use. Fine. So like earlier in 2000 operating systems, so what happened like in Windows, like they were device driver is just a software based, right? Device driver is actually completely a software based for any device that is being connected to the computer. So the driver actually, we can say the software that is installed, so that may have some incompatibility, or it could be like third party like Nvidia, or whatever, any third party. Like we use different vendor hardware, right? Like we don't use only Microsoft CD-ROM, or I mean say the USB or anything, or any kind of headsets or anything that we connect to our computer, right? Or any NIC card, like, or a video card that we connect. So it could be of different brand or different vendor, right? So if that driver is not actually proper, if that is not compatible with my operating system, with Windows, that can impact with blue screen of death. Okay, that's called blue screen. So sometimes when you boot your computer, you might have seen blue screen on your actually the computer, and it may ask you to repair or something. Okay, so I'll show you how the blue screen looks like. Okay, I'll show you the blue screen. So let us see this few images of blue screen, how it looks like this is the one, like the simple one I can show you is like, problem has been detected and Windows has shut down to prevent damage to your computer. So these all actually appears because of this is the one you can see, right? I can give you the best example is this. Do you see my screen? So you might have seen earlier these kind of screen earlier, and this is just because of the incompatible devices connected, and that has got incompatible device drivers. Okay, fine. So actually, it was observed in Windows 2000, like earlier. It could be maybe, I think it's before XP was launched, so it was 2000 which was used. So in that, 89% of the operating system crashed because of third-party drivers. Like the driver which were installed on the computer, which was not actually compatible. It was not verified by Microsoft. Okay, so there were some crashes that happened long back, but what happened after that? Microsoft came up with the WHQL, that is Windows Hardware Quality Labs, and they used to do is that they used to test, verify the third-party drivers, and they give a sign off to them that this is compatible with Windows 7 operating system. Operating system. This is compatible with our operating system. Okay. So any kind of vendor who builds a hardware, they also build a driver, right? Like if you purchase a webcam for your computer, you get a small device, you get a small CD with the device driver, right? When you buy a printer, they tell you that they give you a small CD and saying that this has got the device driver for this, right? Or sometimes they tell you that you can go online and download it. So those are the device drivers. and those should be compatible with Windows 7 or WHQL drivers. Or Windows might have actually, sometimes you may see that the compatible Windows server that will be marked as compatible with these operating systems, or it would be listed as this is compatible with Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 10, right? So it's something like that. So Windows Hardware Quality Labs was that came into picture after Microsoft observed that there are many failures happening. So Microsoft actually they come up with WHQL, that is Windows Hardware Quality Labs, and they used to do is they used to test drivers with range of hardware, different hardware they used to get, and it was actually paid base for the vendors. They used to get all these drivers to Microsoft, and they charge few bucks and I mean dollars, and they used to verify and they tell that this is compatible with Windows, our operating system. Okay, like as we are using Logitech there, so Logitech might have got it verified, or they might have made it compatible, or I mean they might have come in, they should have a communication with Microsoft telling that this should be compatible with Windows operating system. Okay, so we actually need to or sometimes like in Windows 7 it comes up with by default drivers. Okay, so those all drivers are actually compatible with this operating system, and when we connect a device as a tool like a printer or a webcam or something, it will automatically install the driver, it will detect the driver. Okay, so before Windows 7 it was not like that, we used to have to install drivers for every devices, but with Windows 7 it came up like it had actually a feature like I can see it came up with a feature like many of the drivers were installed, what Windows X before Windows 7 it was not the case. Also like the third party drivers like any of the vendors as a tool, like it could be anything like Nvidia or Realtek or anything that the other vendors are there for hardwares, they can get this signed, the driver signed, and actually sign is something like this is compatible and this is genuine. Okay, fine. So we'll go to the next topic, and so what happened like Microsoft came up with driver signing, and that came after Windows XP, that was 64-bit, and they came up like must use sign drivers. So they say they after with the 64-bit of Windows XP, they told like you must use sign drivers, so they will not have a effect like the blue screen of death or something. It will not have blue screen of death. So to avoid that thing, because they're getting bad impress in the market, like this operating system is getting corrupted or something. Okay, so Microsoft came up strongly like you should not use the unsigned drivers, you need to only use signed drivers, which has been actually verified by Microsoft. Okay, so this is what says like as I told like Windows XP 64-bit operating, they actually made it they actually told like you should only use the signed drivers. 32-bit you can use at that time moment, few of them might not be supported, so they didn't come up on 32-bit. So later 64-bit was actually it was made like you should use only signed drivers. Okay, so we'll see how can we manage our devices and device drivers, and we can see actually the list of devices which are connected to my computer and the related drivers to them. Okay, so basically we can go to the computer management, and you can use the you can go to the computer management and you can see the device management there, or you can use the command as devmgmt.msc. So I'll see this practically now. So this is my lab machine here, and I'm going to use this command devmgmt.msc. Okay, so this will do is like this will show me all the devices connected to my computer. Okay, and it will also show me what are the drivers been installed in this for all specific devices, what are the drivers been installed. Okay, like the sound or video, the high definition audio device actually has been installed, and Like for keyboards also, standard PS2 keyboard driver has been installed. Okay. So if something like you have connected a device and that's not been detected, okay, like you just connected a device and that is not showing anything, that is not getting detected, and that happened, like you're not able to operate it. Okay. So what you can do is you can go over here and right click over here and you can go scan for hardware changes. Fine. So it will scan all devices that might have been connected, and it will actually list over here your device. Hmm. If we have got a new update for a driver and we for a specific device, if there's a driver that has come in the market and the vendor has told that you can update your driver with this the new version, so you can right click on this and you can update the driver software, and it will pop up to browse my computer for driver software. If you may need to copy to your local machine, or you can go onto the internet and also you can do that also. Okay. So if you have a local copy, you can choose the second option, browse my computer for driver software. Fine. So this is the way you can update your driver. Hmm. You can do is disable it sometimes if it's causing your computer with a blue screen. Then if you figure out like this is the driver or this is the device of because of that my computer is actually having blue screen, then you can disable it. Okay. And you can also do is you can uninstall it if you need it. Okay. So you will see the properties. What does the property say? Okay. So property says like as the power is required for this, it says that 7 ports are available. Okay. And it says just is required 0 milliampere. For this it's not required any kind of power actually right now. And it says advanced and hub is operating at full speed. So many information are available right now here. And one more thing, like in the driver tab actually you can see the driver details. Okay. So in driver it says the driver is from Microsoft Corporation that is provided. We can know the who's the vendor who has provided this driver. So this is from Microsoft and the file version that has been installed on this. Okay. And digital signer who has signed this, digitally signed by Microsoft Windows. So this we can verify many things like troubleshooting, or if we would be actually knowing about it, the many useful information. Fine. Okay, so here as I told, we can update the driver. We had the option earlier. And we can also do is like we can roll back the driver. If you install the new updated driver for this, we can roll back when we need to roll back. If like why do we use rollback driver? Any idea? Okay, rollback is used when if you have updated the driver, it's causing an issue on your computer. The new driver might be affecting your computer. Then we can use rollback, so it will come up with the previous version which was installed. Okay, that's it. I mean, we can know more about in the properties about all this. Okay, and fine. So these are the things, and also you can change the view like devices by connection. We can change like how many. You can see the devices by connection also, and you can resources by type like input and output. Many what are the drivers been installed for input output devices. Okay. So even you can choose show hidden devices. It might be used sometimes. And this is a virtual machine showing not much, so I'll just keep it as devices by type. Okay. So here it's like You can see in this picture it shows that there's an exclamation mark here, right? Yellow. So this has appeared because this has got some problem with this. Okay, when the device problems, it will it might not be updated, or it might not be installed correctly. So you may see sometimes when you open the device management, you may see that somewhere for few of the devices, few of the device drivers, there is exclamation mark. For that, actually, to fix, you need to update or install the correct driver. Okay. So we can update the device driver which appears with yellow exclamation mark. We can also disable the hardware causes issue in operating system. Fine, as I told you with in the previous demonstration. So if the device is not being detected, we scan for hardware changes. Even I told that thing. Okay. And one more thing, you can update the driver if downloads with latest or rollback if they are newly installed causes issues. I think I told you this thing too, right? One more thing, like sometimes we may need to know about the IDs. Sometimes IDs would be useful for us to download the correct driver, specific driver when we look over the internet. Okay. So here, if you right click on it and on the details, you may see like the value IDs, hardware IDs, and the value. What is it? You can use the value to download the specific driver. Fine. So I mean, what I mean to say is the value useful when you, if you can copy this and search over the internet, you may get the actually exact driver for this. It will be more useful while searching for a correct driver for this. Okay. As I told, this is having exclamation mark, so we need to fix this driver for this. I mean, there is a device. So in that case, we can go to the details, and if the ID which is showing hardware ID, this value can be also used to download the specific driver for this. Okay. So even I've written here, hardware IDs are helpful while downloading correct drivers.